Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome. Bearded Brothers Podcast. I'm Carl.
I'm of course Pretty Boy Richard.
Richie Rich. Richie
Yeah,
Rich.
we are excited to be back. A little bit less of a hiatus this time, right? I mean, we were on Saturday during the Knicks game, and then my Knicks closed it out yesterday with
Knicks are
an
going to the
absolute
finals. Like I
that with
said
an
they were
absolute
going to.
beatdown, an
Oh my
absolute
God.
beatdown,
40 points. Horrible.
beatdown, beatdown, and
Horrible.
they've done it. The last two series, they've done nothing but beat teams down.
11
That's all
games
they're doing.
straight.
Yeah, they've just been
Outscored,
pummeling.
outscored opponents by 262 points.
You heard it here. Knicks fucking rule all.
262 points. It's nuts.
I'll tell you what, they found something in. So last year, when they were in the Eastern Conference Finals, Jalen Brunson was pulling at James Harden a little bit. He had to he basically was stopping drives by dribbling. You know, he's got this 6, 8 second dribble thing going on. He's got to make a move, got to do this. This year they've decided to move the ball. I mean, they scored 140 points yesterday, and not one player on the team had 20 points. That's complete ball movement
Yeah.
throughout the whole team. And I think that's going to be the key to them winning, no matter who they play, whether it's OKC, whether it's San Antonio. Both teams, I think, are better than the Knicks. But if the Knicks can keep this, I don't want to call it momentum because they're going to basically sit around for a week. But if they can keep this
Yeah, but
style of play,
they sat around for a week last time too. So
they
I
did,
don't think that
they
matters.
did, and yeah, but again, like I said last time, I momentum's a big thing in sports, no matter what sport it is. But they have gone through this once already. This series,
Twice.
this twice this playoff series, so they can pull it off. I just think they have to keep this style of play is going to be their go to. And I think if they keep this style of play and they keep up that fast break pace, they keep with the turnovers and very very good defense. Now again, the West Coast teams are absolutely better. They're better
Yeah.
scoring offenses.
I
They
don't
have
I don't think it's going to matter against San Antonio. Um, I could see that working with Oklahoma, but San Antonio, those guys are going to run with you. So I don't see it
yeah, they're a
happening.
lot younger. They're a young team and they play big. Like I said, I think both West
And
Coast
they're
teams are
defensive
better.
monsters.
You know, both West Coast teams are better than the Knicks, but the Knicks do have a chance if they keep this play up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got a
So
chance for sure, but they're not winning. But they're
we'll
definitely in the
see.
finals.
Oh yeah, that I mean, and we got. I mean, it's 2-2 over there at San Antonio OKC. They play again tonight. It's probably going to go 7 games the way this series is going. So more than likely, Knicks are going to be off for another 10 days.
I
So
got I got San Antonio winning the next two.
you got them. I mean, that's a little bit different than your opinion from last time we talked about this when OKC was up 2-1. You know, you had mentioned that
What?
OKC was probably going to close it out. I think it goes 7 games. I think both teams
Yeah,
are
but that's before two people got
really
injured.
bad. And who got hurt?
AJ Mitchell and Jay Will, who both are
Oh,
not
okay.
playing tonight. So
Well, they're not.
yeah,
Okay.
no.
I thought one was a game time decision, but I guess they
Well, yeah,
called it out
Jay
already.
Will is questionable. Yeah, but AJ Mitchell is definitely out. But being a game time decision, that means he's not 100%, which ain't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
work. And they're playing in San Antonio, so we'll see
We
how it
are. Me
goes.
and Jamie are trying to order dinner. I don't know if she's watching our live or not.
Well, tell Jamie to order me some too.
We're getting Jim and Nick's barbecue free plug.
No, I don't want any Jimmy Nicks.
I like it.
Jamie, give me
Going.
some of the biscuits.
It's a good way to order. Go live. She gets a notification we're live, and we just
Yes.
start ordering food.
I need all the biscuits, the cheese, the cheddar, whatever they call it.
Yeah, do they have those? I haven't.
Yeah, it's like some kind of cheese biscuits they have. I don't remember the name of them.
At Jim and Nick's.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever eaten there in person. I think I've always ordered them. The last barbecue spot I ate in person was City Barbecue, which is real good. City Barbecue has the best banana pudding ever.
City
Um,
barbecue is pretty decent.
yeah, I like City Barbecue. I went a little overboard. I got the family plate when I was there, so you get it's like 3 or 4 meats,
Yeah,
and then you get dessert with it and all kind of shit. So because I'd never eaten there and I didn't know if I'd ever get to go back, so I
so you just ordered the family plate for yourself.
yeah, I had
A family of one.
My buddy Jordan was with me, but he ordered a brisket sandwich and that was it. So,
Still, your buddy was with you, but he had his own meal. But you ordered a meal, a family meal for yourself.
well, I wanted to try everything. I didn't want
A
to. I
family of
wanted an
one.
opportunity to to see what they
Okay.
had to offer. You know what I mean? I'd never been there before, and everybody it was hyped up pretty good by the people that told me to go. So, I mean, I think it was worth it. But again, that banana pudding that's the key for them, man. They it was that good. They got Carl's
They
catfish
got
plate
what?
at they got a Carl's catfish plate at Jim and Nick. That's
Really?
what it's called. Yeah, but it's Carl with a K. The not cool way to say to spell Carl.
Yeah, he's a bum.
He might be pretty damn cool, man.
I don't know. His name is Carl with a K. Uh,
Is that like Jeff that spelled their name Geoff
so retarded.
G off? I'm being told to pick sides. I'll be honest, I haven't really gone through the menu very well.
Mac and cheese.
No, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go house salad and French fries. I think is where I'm headed. Yeah, house salad and French fries.
The
I've
French
been
fries
kind of
gonna be
eating off the
cold
rails. I
though.
went to because I just came back from Connecticut this morning. I was supposed to stay an extra day and I didn't. And I kind of eat like a gluttonous piece of shit while I was up there. So,
I thought you would
which I
stop
mean is
by.
normal for me. For those that stop by your house.
No, New York and join in the
Oh no no
festivities.
no. This no no. I watched the end of the game last night, and then I had a 6 a.m. flight. I had to be at the airport at 3. So
Mm.
it was watch the game, turn the TV off, bed, airport. So I wanted to get the fuck out of there. I'll tell you what, when tragedy happens, and on any scale, and then you get with larger groups of people that are involved in the tragedy, whether it be personally or friendly, whatever, you get a wildly different perspective of how people address it. You know what I mean? Like everybody, even people like people you've known your whole life, everybody takes it so differently, and everybody reacts so differently.
Yeah, people have different coping mechanisms, so
And
you'll get
a
that.
lot of it, it's a really large perspective, and it's from the worst to the like it's so up and down. Like the scale, it's not really a sliding scale when it comes to things, but it's very interesting to see how different people react to the same thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so to and it's hard when you're involved to like kind of be on an outside of the box looking in kind of thing, so you can't really judge it. But just to watch it kind of in action, almost like in person, it's the scale of how people treat situations, act during those situations, and people you've known forever. People their personalities, you know who they are, you know how they act, and everybody is it's very weird to me. I don't know. It's a personal thing. It's just to see how people handle things differently, and of all ages too. I mean, even kids handle it different than adults would, and people that are closer, people that are semi-close, people that used to be close. It's just really wild to see how everybody functions during something like that. Me, I got the hell out of there. I took off. I was supposed to stay an extra day, and I'm not built for that mess anymore. So I packed it up, came back, and here we are.
Yeah.
Message
But
on
I
your phone
didn't.
from mommy phone.
But I did not have to stream the Knicks game. Um, I was able to, because I was in Connecticut. I was able to just watch it on television,
Oh,
which
nice.
was kind of nice. The first Knicks game all year, I was able to just turn the TV on and watch it. Everything else, I have to stream. And as any listeners and or watchers from Saturday, we tried to stream it here, but you can't stream the NBA games without express written consent of the National Basketball Association. So we got a slap on the ass for that one. They spanked us a little bit, which is kind of upsetting. I mean, in theory, I guess if we weren't doing it on this and weren't streaming on YouTube, we probably would have been able to do it. I probably would have gotten away with it. Like if I streamed it on Facebook or something, I bet you I would have gotten away with it.
No, they probably would have got you too, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you think so? I mean, I've been in Facebook jail numerous times over the years, so it wouldn't have been the first time that happened. And they call it Facebook jail. It's just a fucking stupid ban when people don't like things.
YouTube is pretty they're pretty quick about it. And they'll give you a couple chances too. So
Well, I'll tell you what, YouTube was on it, dude. We put up the stream so that people could see, and it was probably only maybe 5, 8 minutes, and they took it down. They took it down real quick.
let
So
me
I
see.
mean, it is still cool that we can share things like that. I mean, let's see. I hit the right button. I'm trying to see what the rule is. Like what can be shared and not shared. You know what I mean?
Well, definitely stuff that has like any kind of content or like copyright ID. Yeah, it's not happening. So
So if we show a clip of game one of the year, right? I'm just using the NBA because that's what's in the forefront right now. We showed a clip from the first Knicks game of the year that's already on YouTube.
no, you can do that because it's not in real time. So real time has, I mean, YouTube has a real time, uh, um, like a, I guess you gotta have a
So if
consent
we
for real
so
time,
it can't be
cause they'll
live.
block you.
So like if we play so if we played the game right now, that would be okay. That'd be like an acceptable thing.
Yeah, you'll be able to, and but only so much of it. Like they also like like certain music, they only let you play like 10 seconds of it, or they won't let you play it at all. It just depends. Some stuff you just have to have you have to have consent. Um, uh, yeah, it just
Well, I mean, it's everything. I mean, they do it
yeah
for baseball games, football games. You can't do anything without the express written consent of the NFL, the MLB, MLS, whatever it is, NBA. But they do it at concerts too. I mean, it's
yeah
funny.
yeah.
A lot of comedians, and they actually lock people's phones up when they have live shows for that reason. Now, I don't know
Okay.
if that's a copyright law. In their case, I think they're just doing it so they can monetize their own stand up without it. Basically they want you to pay to come see them. They don't want you to go to the comedy show and then live stream it and then we can all watch the comedy show. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
And so I understand it, but that's been happening a lot lately. And with everything being digital, I mean, here we are, on YouTube and we're recording and we're not even in the same place, but with all the digital stuff out there, I guess they would have to. Even schools started locking phones up. There's schools out there that make kids put their phones in little magnetic cases or something that the magnet unlocks at like 3 o'clock or whatever time school
Yeah,
ends.
yeah.
So because people were live streaming tests and like taking pictures of their answers and they put it on whatever Snapchat or Instagram or something and it just goes throughout the whole school. Which I would think if they were doing that at school, more people would pass and more people would be able to read, but that doesn't happen that often anymore. So it's kind of disappointing. But I wish we had that when we were in school. That's for sure. I wish the smart kid in class would snap a picture of all his answers and then blast it school wide, and we'd all get the same grade. But they don't do that. But I think a lot of TV shows are like that too. I think. I don't know if they say it, like when they do like a sitcom or a series. I don't know if they actually say you can't rebroadcast this or something like that. But I wonder if it's in
You
like
just,
at
I
the
mean,
end. It's going to be in the fine print, I'm sure.
yeah. Well, the thing is that with YouTube, like one of the guidelines literally says you can't use it without permission. So without permission, you can't. It violates copyright.
Now is that with anything or is that just with like major things like things that are on a specific network
That's
that you wouldn't be
anything.
able to show?
That's anything.
It's anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because there's definitely some rough videos out there on YouTube.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
like a lot of people too, like people are doing clips and people are doing, like people are making money from clips. It's just that it depends on like if the person cares or not. So if a person cares, they like a buddy of mine, he was doing content, and basically he was loading like people's like some people would record something, he would just load it into Opus, and Opus clip it up, and then he would just put it on his page. As it's not his, but I mean, he was just
what
taking it
was
from the
he
page.
doing the recording though?
No, he was
No, he
literally
was just taking.
downloading. He was taking a clip, uploading it to Opus, and then cutting it up, doing the shorts, and then you know,
Putting on his
trying
page.
yeah, trying to monetize from it. But they won't even let you monetize. Like even certain songs, if you have certain songs like playing in the background, then you won't be able to monetize that video because you'll get the same thing we got. We'll get the email saying, hey, you know, at this time you played this song and this song is copywritten and you can't blah 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 blah. So
Well, I know with music you're only allowed a certain amount of seconds. So like even if you're an artist,
now it's not
so
even.
if you want to take
Sometimes you can't even play some. It's like it's not even about the seconds. Sometimes you can't play it at all. So certain music you can't play at all
really,
whatsoever. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know. I know there's limited like when you edit videos on TikTok and stuff like that, and you put music behind it. There's only a section of that song that you can use, and they only give you certain songs that you can play.
Yeah, it
Now, my
depends.
assumption is those artists have a deal that says, or whoever owns the rights to the music is saying yes, you can use these 8 songs of mine for whatever you want on social media.
Yeah, so that's like that's having permission. But if you don't have permission, then um or
So,
like
like, if
if
I
you go
threw a speaker up behind me right now, right, and I just put anything on, just a random artist, and just played the music throughout the podcast, it's possible we get flagged, and they say you can't do that.
sometimes, so like what they'll do is you'll keep your live going, but what they'll do is they'll mute it. It depends on what the music is.
Okay,
So if you're playing a certain song or whatever, they'll mute your live. Like they'll keep your live going, but they'll mute it. You know,
until that music stops.
yeah. So if it's detected,
Okay.
they'll definitely mute it.
So they're on point with that shit. They got
Oh yeah,
people
for
at
sure.
YouTube just hanging around and
I mean, it's
fucking
AI though, but AI is doing it for sure. It's not people doing it. It's AI doing it.
yeah. Wonder if it used to be people doing it. Could you imagine being
I'm
that
sure.
guy
Yeah,
that
I'm
that has to
sure.
sit in a room with a fucking million screens?
I doubt that's how it works, but yeah,
Well, they set it up. I assume they would set it up for like trigger words and trigger. You know what I mean? Like so now I watch, as you know, I'm a conspiracy nut, and I watch a lot of like FBI documentaries and stuff like that. And so when they're attempting to pull wiretaps, right, or they're attempting to listen to people's conversations, they can't listen to the whole conversation. They're only set up to listen to 1 minute at a time or 30 seconds at a time. But they have all their, and they do this now. I don't know how they did it, 40 years ago, but now they have everything set up to where how everybody, how our cell phones hear us, and it sets
yeah,
our
of course,
algorithm. Like we talk about Jim and Nick's barbecue. I'm just gonna get a bunch of barbecue things that
of
pop up
course, of course,
on my
of course.
social media. So it works like the same concept, but they put trigger words in. So there'll be trigger words like mafia or murder or president, things like that, and it'll trigger, and that's how they start. They gain the ability to pull like wiretaps and stuff like that. So it's the same kind of. I guess it's the same
Yeah,
concept. Yeah. So they would just they would put in NBA like Saturday when I showed that game because it played for a little bit. Like it ran for probably 10 minutes
yeah. It will
before
play.
we
So
got the
like what
boot. You know
YouTube
what I
does,
mean?
they have a scan. So they'll scan for copyright stuff. So it's not like a person. It's not so AI just scans. When people are live, it's just they're just scanning through it. So if they scan, it's a copyright issue, then they'll mute it, they'll shut it down, they'll stop it, they'll pause it, whatever the case might be. If you keep going, then yeah, you can fall into some issues. But again, also YouTube has a bunch of licenses or licensed music and material that you can use that's copyright free, so that you won't get flagged for. There's a bunch of music that you won't get flagged for that YouTube is
Yeah.
allowed to use. And then a lot of times when they scan this stuff, most of the time, like, or not most of the time, but there's times where they'll scan this and then the person that it's licensed to, they'll say, well, yeah, they can use it or not, X, Y, and Z. But most of the time they
Yeah.
say you can't use this. It's already set that, hey, you can't use this. You can't monetize from this, pretty much.
So I watched interview and I I think it might have been MC Search and I don't know where the interview was from. It was some producer. It might have been MC Search, might have not been. Those who don't know, MC Search is a rapper from the group Third Base from the 80s and 90s. Carl would know that. Not everybody knows that. But he said that you know how and I'll use rappers as the best example. Um Rappers go right to YouTube now, right? They make a video in their backyard or in their living room or something, or they record in their bedroom and it goes right to YouTube. That's what their plan is. Go to YouTube, get a bunch of clicks, get a bunch of
Well,
views, start
Spotify,
getting
but yeah.
paid. Well, I mean they do it on everything. Like I don't remember the rapper's name, but he started on YouTube. That was his thing. Like he posted on YouTube, like Soldier Boy did it. Basically, he was like the kind of the first to use social media to put his music out there.
Yeah.
And what happens is when they do it that way, they don't get the licensing rights. So like if they make a, let's say they're in their bedroom and they make a video, right? What they do is they then put that video on YouTube for everybody to watch. But then if you take the music from that, as long as it's original music, like you were saying, it's not, from a Michael Jackson song, but if it's all original like that, there's nothing licensed for that music. So that music can get used anywhere. It's almost like not having a patent on a product. You know what I mean? If you make a product that doesn't have a patent, you show a video of it on YouTube, anybody can make that product. And you can't do anything about it. And I think that's what he was saying is the big issue with people using social media to start their music careers or their film careers or things like that. You can't hold the rights to anything. You know what I mean? Because once you put it out there, not from a contracted thing, anybody can use it. If you make a rap song tomorrow and just put a video on YouTube of you rapping that song, I can then use that song. You know what I mean? I could take
I
your
don't think
lyrics.
so.
I'm almost positive it's not. It you can't copyright yourself through YouTube. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like you
No, because you're
can't.
the owner. You're the owner. So
But by what standard? There has to be there has to be a contract. Like there's like when you buy somebody's music, like you can go right now if you had the capital and you could buy people's production rights and people's music. You know what I mean? Anybody can own it. One thing is that's you have to buy it because somebody owns it. Somebody has the patent on it. But if you just put it out on YouTube, I don't know if technically you own that.
he does for sure,
Like what's the
for sure.
that so
Yeah,
if you
it
just
doesn't
openly put
matter
it
if
on
you
YouTube,
upload original videos to YouTube, you own the rights to those videos. But if you're using like third party music and third party voices and sounds and stuff like that, then yeah, people can use it. But if you upload something that's original and yours, yeah, bro, that you own that. You own that for sure.
see, I didn't. I
You
he must have been
literally
talking about
you
something
hold the
different because I didn't
copyright
know
to those
that.
videos. I mean, you open to the videos, the visuals, the audio, all that stuff is yours. Unless you're using somebody else's stuff. But if you're using your own original content, it's yours. It's yours.
So like, so our content, nobody could clip our content and just run it as their own.
No.
We would have we would have legal recourse in the event a week from now.
Unless we were using something else. If Unless we were using like a song from somebody else, unless weren't using our original voices, unless we were but we're using our own stuff. This is our stuff. It's ours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look it up. Hold on. Let me
Oddly,
look it up. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Hold on.
yeah. Put that on the screen. Let's see. Oddly enough, you're wearing Small's Big Taste. I'm wearing Dads with Beards Do It Better, made by my wife's t-shirt company. So we're actually wearing all our own stuff today. I would look it up, but my I can't see my keyboard, so typing's not an option right now. I'm excited about this dinner though. I've been eating a lot of pizza over the last couple days. I ate almost 3 pies on my own.
Three.
Then we
What?
had some. I ate 3 pizzas, almost 3 whole pizzas on my own on what was it, Sunday, and then we went to this restaurant that I think I've only been there one time. It's called Zodi's 19th Hole. It's in Stamford, Connecticut. Really, really, really good food. Really good food and good service. My cousin works there. My uncle lives down the street from there and knows everybody there. So really good. You would actually like the food there for a guy that eats nothing.
If it's pizza, I'm eating it.
Well, I know you're gonna. I've seen you eat pizza, but dude, you eat 4 things. You'll eat pizza. I've seen you eat a couple chicken wings here and there. You eat rice. But you don't eat anything.
Okay, let's
Are you
share
looking
this.
it up?
Yes.
All right,
So
let's take a look.
do you own the rights to your
You
YouTube
upload.
videos? When you upload a video to YouTube, you retain the copyright to your original creative work, such as your performance, commentary, editing, and original footage. But you are but you also grant YouTube a broad license to use, reproduce, distribute, display, and create derivative works of that content. This means YouTube can show ads, embed your videos on other sites, and use them in its own marketing, but they cannot sell or distribute your video without your permission. What you own: the original content, your voice, original footage, original editing, and original commentary are protected under the U.S. copyright law from the moment they are fixed in a tangible form. Control over use. You can license your videos to others, sell them, or use them in your own projects. What you grant to YouTube,
So you wait, hold on. So YouTube can't make money or they can
No,
make money. Is that?
not without your permission. Not
But
without your
no, but it
permission.
says you give them you. It says you give YouTube a broad license to use, reproduce, distribute, display, and create a derivative works of that content, so
Yeah,
they
but they
can
can't.
advertise on it. So they're not making money off of your content; they're just getting views from your content.
Yeah, but and it says, but they cannot sell or distribute your videos without your permission.
Okay, so they
So
can
it
use
says,
it, but they can't
well,
monetize.
let's see. It says what you grant to YouTube by uploading your by you accept YouTube's term of service, which typically includes non-exclusive, worldwide, royalty-free, sub-licensable, and transferable license to use your video for YouTube purposes. The right for YouTube to embed, display, and create derivative works, examples like
Thumbnails,
thumbnails and
clips,
clips.
yeah,
The right to
yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
to use your video in its own marketing materials. So I guess they can.
Oh, wait. It says even if you own the original work, you do not automatically own any copyrighted material you include. Okay, like you were saying. So, like if I own the video, but I don't own the music I played in the video, kind of thing.
If it's not
Okay.
yours,
Yeah.
you
If
must
you want
have
to sell or
permission or use
license
it
your videos,
under exception like fair use or Creative Commons.
okay.
And then a content ID, YouTube content ID system can detect copyrighted material in your video. If a match is found, the rights holder can choose to monetize, track, or remove your video.
Okay, so they can't make money off it, but they could take it down if they want.
Correct. And then it says YouTube may
Okay.
keep copies of your video even after you delete them.
I think that's
So
for legal purposes, though, right?
practical takeaways, I'm sure. You own the original creative work, but give YouTube significant rights to use it. To protect your rights, add a copyright notice in your video description to be aware of third-party content. If you want to sell or license your videos, you can also do so directly, but you must respect any platform or third-party rights you've granted. In short,
Okay.
you own your YouTube videos in the sense of copyright, but YouTube holds a license to use them for its own purposes.
Its own purpose.
So, so
So there,
basically, YouTube can
so YouTube
do what
would
they
do
want.
whatever they want with it
Yeah,
because they're
except for
allowing you
selling.
to use their, well, except for some, but
They
I'm saying
can't
they're
they
allowing you
can't
to use
sell it
their
or distribute
platform.
it.
So I thought it was
Yeah,
kind of like you know how when you're in public you have no right to privacy. Like if you're standing in your front yard and somebody walks by and videos you, that's legal. You don't have to give them permission to use your likeness or anything. You have zero right to privacy when you're out in public. Now it's different if they're looking through the windows of your home.
that's not
You know,
different
like
at
if they
all.
walk, yeah, they can't walk up because then technically it rolls into other
Close.
laws like
No, it's not.
trespassing,
No, it's
things like
not. If your windows are open and a person is standing there with a camera and they can see inside your home, they're doing nothing wrong.
unless they're on your property.
Yeah, if they're on your property, that's different. But if they're on a
But as I
sidewalk,
said, that would roll into a different law. But if they're out on the sidewalk, if they're on a public street, you can't do a thing about it. You just have to close your curtains or get away from
pretty
the windows.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's the
So
same thing for anything.
same kind of concept. So the platform is YouTube. They're allowing you to push your content, but by the same token, not that they're making money off it, but if they want to clip your content and put it in an advertisement, they could do that.
Yeah,
They
for
could
sure.
throw it in there. Okay, that
Yep.
makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I love the Knicks. I love the NBA. I love basketball, but fuck them. They should have let us play that fucking video. People want to see that shit, man. The Knicks have looked good for the first time in 3 decades. Let's give me some credit. You know what I mean?
I think next
Let's get
time.
Adam. We need to get Adam Silver on the phone next time and be like,
Yeah,
look,
but
dude.
I think we could use OBS and then I could stream it from the TV. So like, I don't know if I could turn this camera
Wouldn't that
on.
be the same concept though?
Yeah, but they wouldn't know if
Like
it's
if I
not.
so you see behind me, I have this white wall behind me, right? Or
Yeah.
off white wall, whatever it is. If I put a TV back there and had the game playing in the background, same concept, right?
Yeah, but
But
I
we're still
also
showing it
think
on the
so. I
video.
also think though, if the ah
Let's just. If I wonder if I say Adam Silver's name enough, if his people will scroll YouTube and see that Bearded Brother-in-Law podcast really, really, really loves the Knicks. Well, one guy really loves the Knicks. And if he could just give us a short-term permission when the Knicks are playing and we're podcasting, we're live, to show the fucking game. Be a good man, Adam Silver. If this gets to you and you can see this, understand I've been a Knick fan since the late 80s. They finally look good after 26 years of playing basketball in the 2000s. Give me some credit, man. Give me something. Let me show the people something. Because not everybody down here has the streaming services to see the games either. You know, I guess, well, playoffs are nationally televised anyway, so I'm sure anybody that has cable could see it. But
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I could be the provider for the people that can't watch the games. Just saying. Because I put that clip up through Hulu. Now, Hulu didn't flag me, but YouTube did. You know what I mean? So I don't
YouTube
know
flagged
what.
you because of Hulu.
So if it was just a cable channel, we wouldn't have gotten flagged.
It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Like you can't play it. Period. So I'm sure all those big companies are like, you can't play our thing live. Because now you're allowing everybody else to watch it without subscribing to or having
To
a
Hulu
subscription to Hulu and stuff
or
like
to
that. I mean, it makes
ESPN or
sense.
whatever it was on.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
It all ties. It's all money. It's all
Correct.
money. They got to get their money. Bitch better have my money.
Better have my money.
That's what they're saying. So it's all about the money. Fuck the little guy. You want us, pay us. Fuck you, pay me. That's what that is. And I pay them. I pay for Hulu and we get to watch all that stuff. But I don't know. I think they could have let that one go. You know, we're an up and coming podcast. They could have let that one go for one time. Just don't shut it down. Just send us an email. Be like, hey, after this game is over, don't do that again. Just saying. But like I said, if I say Adam Silver's name enough, maybe his people will contact one of us and be like, hey, you know, our bad. When the finals start, you can go ahead and play game 1 and game 4. You know what I mean? Like something like that. I know that's not going to happen, and it's wishful thinking, but you know, be nice if they could give us that permission, give us a little boost in our ratings. You know what I mean?
Let me see here.
Well, if you're searching, you got to put it up on the screen, man. We got to see it. And for anybody that's watching, for anybody that sees these clips, and I wonder if Opus can clip this little section that I'm about to say right here. Carl needs a studio in his house, and I need a new chair. So if anybody's willing to donate to the Bearded Brother-in-Law podcast and get Carl a studio in his house and Richard a new chair, that would be great. Because this chair becomes uncomfortable after 40 fucking minutes.
So yeah, so just like I said, use OBS. So if we use OBS and stream it that way, we should be all right. And probably turn it.
Bring that up. Let me see what you're looking at.
All right, hold on.
So you got me freaked out. I'm covering the label of my soda.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep.
You say that, but it could probably go that deep, dude. All right. Stream a basketball game live on YouTube. Yes, you can stream a basketball game live on YouTube, but it depends on your setup equipment and whether you're streaming the game directly or overlaying it with commentary or highlights. Okay, that's probably where we made our mistake because we could have like ran a commentary. Before you can stream, your YouTube channel must be verified for
Mommy
live
phone.
streaming. And okay, so we can stream it, we just can't talk about it, basically. That's for gameplay supports. So is that what it is?
No.
I mean, it says you could or switch to YouTube and have Use a capture card or screen capture software to feed the game into your streaming software or overlays or so. So I don't understand why would you be able to do it through Opus clips but not right here? Is it because we can comment on it?
Uh,
It's because it seems to me like they don't want us doing a play by play. You know what I mean? If I
I don't
read
know.
that correctly, I think that's what that's telling.
Message on your phone from mommy phone.
No, but I think it's saying that you can't. So you know how we were sharing the screen?
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. So it has to be a streaming software. So basically from OBS. So
Yeah, but
we would
what's
have
the
to go through
difference?
OBS. I
That's
don't
like
know,
playing, but you're
but
talking about playing it after the game's over, right?
no. Uh-uh.
See, that doesn't make sense to me. I think if I read the front of that correctly, the if you scroll all the way up, okay, so it says yes, you can stream basketball game live on YouTube, but it depends on your setup equipment and whether you're streaming the game directly or overlaying it with commentary or highlights. Before you can stream your YouTube channel must be verified for live streaming and have no active community guidelines strikes. You must also meet the YouTube's minimum hardware and internet. Okay, the hardware and shit, I'm not worried about that. That's all. That's not software. Uh, Streamlabs, YouTube's built-in mobile desktop streaming tools. Which is what we're using now. That's that's a lot of fine print, dude. There's no specific answer to that. Well, there you go. Hey, everybody. Carl typed really well. Quick answer. Same answer. I think they don't want us to. If I'm like I said, if I'm reading that right, I think they don't want us to like do commentary like we're our own.
That makes no sense. It would have to be, they just don't want to directly stream to YouTube.
That's all that is. They want people to pay for it.
No, because OBS is free. The the
No, I
thing is, I
understand
just
that.
don't think they.
But if you play it through OBS, we won't be able to show it live while we're live. You understand? Like what we're
Yeah,
doing
you
now. You're
will.
searching.
That's the whole point. No, you will. So that's OBS. OBS is a that's the system that I was telling that we need to use to go live because it's a workstation. Right now we're going through YouTube, but OBS you can do so much more. Different camera angles, use different like we literally can do whatever we want, share whatever we want inside OBS, where we're not
without
using YouTube
without without
directly.
fucking with copyright.
I don't I don't I'm not saying that, um, but I know
Because
it's
that's
not
the
gonna be
issue here.
straight through YouTube.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the issue here. It's not. We have the ability. Like you have OBS. You know, we have all this ability to see the game, but it would be a copyright issue. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the biggest. That's the only thing right now. You cannot legally stream a live basketball game on YouTube without a license from the rights holder, which is the NBA, because the game footage, the associated broadcasts are protected by copyright. YouTube's content ID system scans. Okay, game footage if is owned by the league broadcasters and rebroadcasting it without permission is infringement. The broadcasts are also copywritten. If you want to stream a basketball content legally, only stream footage you own. So, in theory, I'm going to say this loosely. We could talk to the NBA and they could give us permission to show the game live on our podcast if they wanted to. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying it'd be easy to do. Like, I'm not saying we could just make a phone call and Sarah from the NBA office is going to call us back and tell us, yeah, sure, go ahead. But I think that would be Yeah, so even if you use OBS, you're still running into copyright issues.
No, what I'm saying, so okay, yeah.
OBS is
So
legal tool
OBS
for
is a legal tool for streaming, but
yeah, but you cannot bypass copyright law. So that wouldn't work either.
so it says OBS will pass it through YouTube and will be scanned.
Yeah, that's an and flag. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So without permission from the NBA or any large corporation, we can't do any of it.
Let me see here.
Because that would be awesome to do.
Is that
We just
flame?
streaming a full basketball game live on YouTube without a license will almost certainly trigger a copyright claim and block your stream. To avoid issues, either secure the rights to broadcast the game or limit your stream to non-copywritten licensed content, which would be nothing. Everything on a live NBA game is copyrighted, including the fucking commercials.
Go live on YouTube.
What we need to look at.
Use OBS.
Oh, I can't. Look at me. I'm trying to type in your little box here. That's my retard move for the day. I try to type some shit in there. You need to look up how to get permission from the NBA to live stream a basketball game on YouTube.
Hold on.
So many tools. We can show it up on the screen. We can both Google. Get your phones out, people. I bet you're just going to say outright you can't. You cannot obtain a live streaming license from the NBA for a YouTube channel. As an individual or independent creator, the league exclusively sells its live broadcast rights, including digital streaming, to major national networks and broadcast. So they're contracted with, ABC, NBC.
So we can do it. We can do it, right? But turn the audio down.
So if there's no audio.
No, I'm not saying that. But it's chat. It's like if the basketball game, the audio's clear and the video's clear, visible, and it becomes the main focus of the stream, you may be muted, copyright claim blocked, or hit with channel warnings. It usually works safer if you keep the TV in the background, you talk over it, you commentate. So they want you to commentate. So you talk over it. Avoid full screening the game, keep game audio low or muted, and focus camera mainly on themselves. So I could, like I was saying before, I could turn the camera around, have it whatever, but have it low, and then we.
But we just couldn't. It couldn't be on the whole game though. It's saying because if you broadcast the entire thing.
So it's telling me right now. Use the other camera. Put the camera at an angle to where it's not like just focused on the TV, but put it at an angle to where you can see it, obviously. And then make sure the volume's down. And we do all this while we're on YouTube Live. It's fucking.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm saying we're saying all this while we're live on YouTube.
I know.
This should have been like a private.
This should have been a text conversation that we just had. I think Carl muted himself. And Carl's gone. The government got him.
Yeah. Wow.
They got you, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
So it says your recording has stopped. Something went wrong and you aren't being recorded anymore. Everyone else is still being recorded. Refresh and join from a regular browser.
They got him. They fucking got him.
Oh, man.
Carl, you got windows in your basement? Because they're about to get kicked in, bro. That's it. I'm the only one live right now. To anybody that's watching, Carl has been abducted by the government. We're talking about streaming the Knicks playing in the NBA championship. Very disappointing. I told him. Oh, wait. Did we get him back?
Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. I can hear you. There's a delay and an echo.
There's a delay and an echo. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on one second.
Carl got abducted by the government.
They got me.
That's why I asked if there were windows in your basement because they're gonna kick them shits in.
They're coming to get me.
Oh yeah. 100%, dude. Yeah, there's a major echo.
There shouldn't be an echo anymore, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that should have been a one-on-one in-person conversation, not not on a
Yeah.
live stream, dude. They got us now, bro. They know what's about to go down.
Yeah. They say, oh, we know what you're doing.
But that's all right. Maybe if enough people are wondering what we're about to do, people will start to come and see. Let's
Yeah,
see
let's
if
see what
bearded
happens.
brother-in-laws can pull that shit off, bro.
Well, oh yeah, I'm gonna chop this up and like post the heck out of this.
Yeah, clip the shit out of it, dude.
Yeah.
Especially because you got tagged by the drones, man. They came in and shut your whole fucking internet down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how they get you. I bet you there's a guy by one of those green boxes outside your house right now.
Yep. About to pull everything out.
you're gonna lose power to your house, dude.
Everything.
They're gonna blame it on the rain. They're gonna Milli Vanilli that shit and blame that shit on the rain, bro. I know you like that reference.
Blame it on the rain. Yes.
Blame it on the rain. I think Milli Vanilli got a bad rap, dude. Everybody
Yeah, of
lip
course
syncs
they
now.
did. Yeah, they got a bad rap.
One of those
Their
dudes
whole
killed
career
himself.
was lip singing.
Yeah, well, that's true. One of them dudes killed himself because of it. I don't know which one.
The
I know. I
black
think
guy
one's name
or the
was.
white guy?
They were both black guys, just so you know. Just so you're aware.
No,
They're-
one guy was like a white black guy.
He. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're a white black guy. What's a white black guy? Let's get a definition of what a white black guy is. Is that an articulate
Like
black
one
man?
was,
Is that what you're
one
saying?
was darker than the other one.
So
I
one's a
would say
light
that.
skinned dude, but you don't say a white black
Yes.
guy.
Yeah, but he had like okay.
What's that? What's that disease? I can't remember the name of it. Michael Jackson had it.
Vitiligo.
Yeah, where it turns your skin white.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. That's so funny that you said that. Was it the white guy or the black guy? It was the light-skinned black dude, I think. He's the one that killed himself. I think he did. Either
when
killed
you're-
himself or he
when you're
overdosed or
bl-
something.
When you're black from Germany, you're not really black.
Wait, hold on. All right. So if you're black from Germany, you're not really black.
Yeah.
What about South African?
Yeah.
The South
Yeah,
Africans.
you're black as you're black.
No,
as
you're
hell.
not. Because South Africans are a lot of white people.
Say what?
Like, what's his name? The billionaire. He
No, if you're
says
white,
around-
you're white. But if you're from Africa, you're black. I don't care.
it doesn't matter
Even
where
if you're
in
white,
Africa.
you're black. No,
Yep.
even if you're white, you're black. If you were born in Africa, you're black.
So Elon Musk is a black guy.
Yes, Elon Musk is definitely black. South
Elon
African
Musk
black guy.
is the palest, pastiest British white man on earth. He's like super.
Well,
he's like
he lived in.
He's
South,
like his, he was born in South Africa,
yeah.
but he's as white as your walls, dude. No question about it.
It was.
As white as your walls. So what about Haitian people? They come from France. Are they
Haitian
black?
people come from Haiti.
No. Well, Haitian people speak French. They're French.
They speak Creole.
They're French.
No.
Creole,
They're
Haitian,
Haitian.
and French. They're French. They speak French.
No,
Just like
they're
Australians. I've had this argument with everybody. Just like Australians. Okay? There is no such thing as an Australians. They put the Queen on their money. They're fucking British. Okay? Haitian people are French. They speak French.
No. No.
Yes.
No, they're Haitian.
the guy that found Haiti's from France.
Yeah, but Haitian people are Haitian. It's just a huge difference. That's a bad analogy.
But they're blacker than South African people.
Yeah, but that's because of where they at near the equator. They're in the
South
Caribbean.
African. Wow.
They're in the Caribbean. They're in the Caribbean. Everybody's
So
black.
everybody's
Black in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's no white place in the Caribbean.
There's got to be a white place in the Caribbean. Sicily. No, they're pretty brown. Italians, Sicilians, we're pretty black. We get dark. But it is. No, that's Mediterranean, not Caribbean. We're still on the equator. I think that's
I mean,
what matters.
there's a lot of white people in Turks and Caicos, but still black.
Are they black or are they Spanish? Because Haitians are black, but you said they're Haitians.
Yeah, but they're
Turks
black.
and Caicos
though.
is Spanish, though.
They're
right?
black. Yeah, I mean, the Spanish people are black.
I love the reasoning of what in what context makes a black person. Like that's
Okay,
what I want. So everybody from Africa.
Look, but if you're dark, you're black, unless you come from Europe. I mean, if you come from Europe, yeah, you're white. But if you're born in Africa, you're black. That's like the blackest place you can be born at. You're black.
Anywhere in Africa. It doesn't matter where in Africa.
Anywhere
so
in
the whole
Africa, you're
continent.
black.
Everybody from the whole entire continent is black.
It's black.
Okay.
If you're born there,
All
you're
right.
black. Yeah, it's like the blackest continent in the world. If you're Australian, you're Australian. If you're Haitian,
No,
You're
if
from
you're
Haiti,
Australian,
you're
you're British.
no, you're not.
They're British.
No.
They're fucking British.
No.
British.
No.
They're fucking Brits, dude. They put
they
the
might
queen on their
speak
money.
that.
They're British. They speak just like British
So-
people.
So are Canadians are French too? Stop it.
No. Canadians like America. It's a melting pot. So you
No,
get
it's not.
Yes, it is.
What's the main language in Canada is French.
no. The main language in Canada is English.
No, it's not.
Look it up. Go to the tape, Carl. But I still want to get back to this.
All right, hold on.
Under what context is a person a black person? Because clearly, based on clearly in your mind, it's geography, not the color of the skin. Because there's white people in Africa, but you're saying they're black because they're from Africa. But Haitians are really dark, but they're Haitians. They're not black people.
They're black. They are black. I'm talking about they're black. It's not. It's either you're white or black. I mean, there's nothing else. Or I'm sorry, you're white or black or Chinese, and that's it.
Chinese. There's
That's it. I mean, that's it. There's nothing else. White, black, or Chinese. That is it.
Can we just say Asian?
No.
Because
Because
Indians are Asian.
Indian people.
Asian,
Could be considered brown people and black people.
but they're
So,
Asians.
no. They are
Yes.
Asians. That's why I said Chinese.
Like people from
No, when you say
Afghanistan,
Chinese-
they're fucking Asians.
Of course, but we're not talking about. That's why I said Chinese. So you can differentiate Chinese people versus Indian people versus Afghanis versus that stuff.
But you
So
can't
know what I'm talking-
differentiate Chinese
You know what I'm
people
talking about? Chinese. You're talking about Chinese, Japanese,
There's
Korean,
Korean.
Filipino. Cambodian is black though. That's black.
So wait a minute. so
I know.
What
I
about
can't- I can't
Vietnamese?
explain
So Cambodia is next to Vietnam. Vietnamese people are not black, but Cambodians are.
Vietnamese people are no. They are in the Chinese. They're in the Chinese clique for
They're-
sure.
But Cambodians aren't.
Cambodians definitely in the black clique. Yeah.
So you're grouping. I'm just verifying here. You're grouping all. So China is. I can't say Asian because you've eliminated me saying that.
China
'Cause
is
India-
Chinese. I mean,
But
that's
they're not. There's
hard.
Japanese people.
Stop it. Japanese people in Japan. It's Korean people.
Yeah, but
in
you're
Korea.
saying there's
What are you
three.
saying?
So you said there's black, there's white, there's Chinese.
Yes.
So Japanese.
If
Where
you're
do Japanese people fall under that?
Chinese,
that-
stop it.
So they're
don't play.
Chinese.
They're Chinese.
So
Yes, you're not
Filipinos,
going
Chinese.
to like. You're not going to like. You're not saying, that guy is a Haitian guy. No, That nigga
But,
black.
you would only know he's Haitian when he speaks. You would know he was Haitian.
I don't know what he speaks, but when I look at that guy right there, I
a
say,
black
"Oh,
guy.
that nigga black." Yes. When I look at that person right there, I don't say, "Oh, that person is from Vietnam," or "That person's Korean." I say, "No, that nigga's Chinese."
That person's Chinese. That's
Oh,
you
that
know
person's French.
you just
No,
you
that
just
nigga white.
set up
Stop
you
it.
just set racial stereotypes back 50
I
years
don't care.
because what they say all black people look alike, all Chinese people look
Exactly.
alike.
I can care less. They're Chinese. Yeah, he's Chinese. He's white. He's black.
Do you know? Wait, do you know what they? So they say all black people look alike, all Chinese people look alike. I get all that. Do you know how you identify white people? You identify white people by if they're rich or they're poor, or if they're country or not. That's how white people get categorized. Oh, that guy's a bumpkin, or that guy's a real rich guy. It's the only culture that does that, or it gets
That's
grouped
not
in
true.
like that. You know what I mean?
That's not true. That's not true.
Because not all, I mean,
Because-
obviously, not all black people look alike. Not all white people look alike. That's make that very clear. But that's not the case.
No, but black people, they're like you got black people and then you got niggas.
Well, okay, and so in white
And then you
culture,
got-
you got white people and you have rednecks.
Yeah, or white trash.
Well, white trash. So white trash falls
Doesn't
partially
fall
into
under
both
redneck.
categories.
No.
A little bit.
No. When you think of
Because
redneck, you think of a
you can get
person
white.
who's just
There's
real
white
country.
trash rednecks out there. There's definitely
Of course,
white
it's
trash.
white trash everything. So, but when you think of white trash, though, you think of like trailer park. You don't think of. I don't think of redneck. When I think of redneck, I think
Redneck's
of,
innovation. I think
country.
innovation when I think redneck.
Yeah, you like country. You're a cowboy, that type of thing.
So when you say white trash, we think methamphetamine.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I have noticed that too. That race is cultural to drugs.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Black people ain't doing meth unless they're around
No.
white people.
They're no. That's they get it from the white people.
And white people ain't doing weed, ain't smoking weed unless they're around black people.
Unless they're around black people. Yep.
Yeah.
And Coke is a Coke is a rich
Coke
person
is a
drug.
universal thing. But
But
most
Coke is
black
just if you
people-
have money. If you have money, you're doing cocaine. You're not
Yeah,
doing.
most black people ain't doing coke though. White people,
It's-
coke is more of a white person's drug, for sure.
Well,
but everybody
black
does
people in
coke.
the '80s did Coke, but they called it crack.
That was different. No, crack and coke is different, but it's yeah, it depends. It depends. It does depend on the time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and then coke is a rich people's drug, for sure.
And I'm sure people have gone
Crack
through
is
this
not.
debate. I'm sure people have gone through this debate before. But if you now that we're saying it out loud, it is true that drugs are cultural by race. Like you were saying, like black people aren't doing meth unless they're around white people. Right?
Yeah, and
so
then-
what drug
and then-
what drugs do Asians do?
And
Math?
cocaine, for sure.
They're cocaine, they're
Cocaine, heroin. Cocaine,
Heroin.
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 But
Yeah. Now
White people are
Somalis,
doing,
I can't speak for all of Africa, but I know in Somalia they chew a thing called khat, and they chew it in mid-afternoon. It's like heroin. I don't know what the defining properties of it are, but
I wouldn't know like other country or continents, but I meant like here. in the
here
US.
Asians do. So Asians are would be prone to cocaine, and
Cocaine
but that's
and
money,
heroin,
right?
yeah. Yes.
I think white people.
But
are
dog
definitely
food,
more prone
but
to heroin.
heroin is not. That's a
Heroin's
different
white
type of
person
drug.
It's white people.
No, everybody does heroin. You know, all black people used to do heroin back in the day. Not all black people.
Shooting
but
it or
was-
smoking it?
You shoot heroin.
And smoke it too. I think opiates are more of a white person drug.
Opiates are
Pills.
definitely a white person
White
thing.
people
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't really see a lot of black people getting hopped up on oxys. I'm sure they do. I'm
No.
just saying it's not like a phenomenon. Like people aren't. Oh, this black guy from Harlem, he
I mean,
died because he popped too many
the new
oxys.
age black person, yeah, but no,
But that's Molly though, right? That's MDMA.
no. They do oxys and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I've
for sure.
ever. I don't think I've ever purchased. Anytime I've ever purchased a pill, I don't think I've ever done it from a black person.
Yeah, black people are doing that. It's heavy now. Black people are doing pills, perk 30s. Uh,
Jesus.
um, I mean,
Are
any
they
kind
just
of,
trying to venture? Are they just trying to venture out?
no, they've been doing that because they mix it with lean. They mix it with the cough syrup. Been
Well,
doing
that
that
cough
shit.
syrup. Now that counts as a drug, right?
Yeah, for
Are we
sure
going
it's
to
a
count
drug.
that? Yeah, that's more
You
of a
can't.
black
It's not
person,
over the
black people
counter.
thing.
It's not over the counter. You gotta.
No,
That's
you need
all.
prescription for it.
Prescription. Yeah.
But that's would you say that's more black people stuff, doing lean
Yeah, for sure.
as
Yeah.
opposed to white people?
Yeah.
See, most drugs are cultural. I mean, you get some spillover, but drugs are cultural. Crack, I think, was everybody. I don't think it was just black people. Crack was everybody. Crack in the '80s was a fucking
No.
phenomenon.
Back in the '80s, it might have been everybody, but crack was definitely black people. For
It was
sure.
heavier. What I'm saying is, it was heavier in the black community because it's a made drug, like mix Coke, baking soda, whatever. I don't know what the formula is, but it's basically short term cocaine is what crack is. Now it was heavier in the black community, but everybody did crack in the '80s. Everybody. I think it was that was like the booming drug of the '80s. Just like in the late '90s, weed became the biggest thing. You know, it's all cyclical. Like, in the '70s, '60s, and '70s, weed was the thing, right? People smoke pot. You get hippies and stuff like that, and then you get
That's
the
because it was
'80s.
cheaper.
But what I'm saying is it all comes back around as a mainstay. You know what I mean? Like weed was big in the '90s. Well, heroin and weed became really, really bigger in the '90s. Weed came back around, and heroin peaked in the '90s. Are you looking it up?
No.
Oh, I thought
Um,
I thought you were looking it
I'm
up.
South
I'm like,
Park, Toronto.
I'm like, maybe don't Google
No.
search that, dude. You're really
No,
fuck
no,
your
no.
algorithm up. I mean, our phones are listening to us right now. I'm sure I'm gonna catch some hood brawl videos of fucking junkies or something in California or some shit like that. Skid Row people. That's gonna pop up on all my fucking timelines. That'd be insane. The
That wouldn't
algorithm
be good
shit
at
is
all.
crazy, dude. No. But we spent the last 20 minutes talking about it. And we've also found out that Carl, all Asian people are Chinese. How do you separate them? So, because we decided that
don't.
Indians are Chinese, Indians are Asian, Afghans are Asian, Iraq, all that stuff. It's all Asian. How do you separate
Yeah,
it?
all in Asia.
What do you define as
So-
a Chinese? Like, what defines
So
a
I
Chinese?
take that back because then you have black, white, Asian, like Chinese, and then Indians. So even though that's why you don't say Asian because you know that India, obviously Indians are Asian. All those people are from Asia, but you don't say like when a person be like, that's an Asian person, that's an Indian person. Like, no, you dumb idiot. They're both
They're
Asian.
both
But
Asian.
no one, you don't categorize them as being Asian. You categorize
so
them as being Indian.
That's what I'm saying. So what you categorize them by them being Indian by what they look like, right? And what how they talk, right? That's what because Indians' main language is British. That's their language of choice. So how do you define so white, black, and brown? That's skin color, right? So in theory, Asian people from China, from Japan, those are white people, right? That would define them as white people.
No, I define them as Asians, Chinese people.
Yeah, but their skin color is white.
They're more tan than white, but yeah, I mean, if you want to define them,
I'm sorry,
if you want to
what?
define if you want to define as a white and black thing, yeah,
There's only
I guess
three.
they would be
There's only two
considered.
colors. There's white and there's brown. There is no black people. Your shirt is black. My shirt is black. The only person on Earth that looks this color is Michael Blackson and Wesley Snipes. Okay, so we'll take them out of it culturally. There's only two colors. There's white and there's brown, right? Spanish people are brown. People from the Middle East are brown. Indians are brown. Black people are brown. They're not black people. They're brown people.
Yes, they are. I mean, when you don't check off on your when you fill out a application, it doesn't say are you brown?
It's because
No,
it's because they
nigga.
put it there.
It
What I'm
says black.
saying is, I'm that's because they put the words there. What I'm saying is, if you look at color, just color, right, just melanin. That's all we're looking at.
Yeah,
Forget where they're from. Forget
how
where
do
they're
you want
from.
to call it? You want to
There's
call it
only
brown or black? It's the same shit.
it's brown though. Like there's only two colors. You can only be one of the other.
Okay, it's fine.
Russian.
Whatever. We say brown.
Russians are all
But,
white
I mean, it's still black. It's still the same. Whether you said black or brown, it's still they're gonna be in the same category.
I understand that, but so like a Russian person, they're white people, right?
They're white. Yeah.
So somebody from China, those are white people.
Yeah. Whatever.
But this is what I'm saying. So what defines what defines it? Because like Jewish people are considered a race of people, but there's no Jewish color. That's a religion,
Jews are white.
but they're white people, right?
Yes. If we're doing just white or brown, yes, obviously they're gonna be white.
So
we're-
Indians fall into the category of black people,
Yes, or brown people, however you want to say.
brown people. But that's so they're. What I'm trying to get out of you is you said Chinese. There's Chinese, white, and black, right? But
Yes.
obviously, there's different. What makes a Chinese person a Chinese person? Because they're from China,
their
or how they
eyes.
look? Because of their eyes. That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
get at, Carl. So, people who have slanted eyes are all Chinese people. Is that what we're saying?
Obviously, they're not all Chinese people, but yes, they're Chinese people. So
The
if you're
bulk of it
Korean,
is just-
Japanese, Vietnamese, whatever, you're Chinese. Now, Cambodians, again, they're black.
What about people from Laos? Like northern Laos and Cambodia, they're the same.
Laos is different. Laos is different. They're Chinese. Laos is different. They're like on that edge. Cambodians.
Well, Laos is a
completely
mix.
black.
Laos is You
Laos
get
is
Cambodians,
that's what
Vietnamese.
they're on that edge. They're definitely on that edge. But yeah, they're Chinese.
They're Chinese.
Yeah, they're Chinese.
It's just funny because what we're doing right now is we're stereotyping, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what
yeah.
this is defined as? We're basically stereotyping.
And discrimination like a mother.
Oh, 100%. We've crossed that line. We're beyond
yeah, for
crossing
sure.
that line. Now the fact that you're a black guy, I'm a white guy, it makes it semi okay because we're both
I
in
wouldn't
the
care if
same
it was,
debate.
how somebody feels about it. Honestly,
That's true. That's true. Your wife is white. Your kids are both.
so that's the thing too. My kids are black.
Your kids are black.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't say like my kids.
Kids are
white.
half.
My kids are never. My kids won't say, "Oh, I'm white." No, my kids are gonna say
No.
I'm black.
I'm black. But they got both the white and black, like the hair.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
know
But
what I
I
mean?
think even with a black, if they had a white dad and a black mom, the kid's gonna say I'm white.
So that's
Yeah,
based
most
on the
kids-
dad.
Yeah, most people are based on their dad. Now, if they look nothing like the dad, if they're just like dark, whatever, then they probably will say I'm black, whatever. But yeah, a lot
So
of
when
times,
when they start filling out college applications or job applications and they ask for race, in the event that they wanted to mark it down, because you don't have to. It's always an option. You don't have to anymore. In the event they wanted to mark it down, they're going to mark that they're black, right?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Now, why wouldn't? And that's just based on that fact that you're their dad.
Right.
Okay. But if you were the white guy and Marcy was black, they would put they were white.
They will put they were white.
Okay.
Now, if they don't look white,
I think you froze, Carl. We are still recording. I hope I'm still live. Carl is stuck. Carl is frozen in semi-angry black guy mode. Arms crossed, tattoo showing. But from the shoulders up, he's thinking black guy mode with the glasses. I don't know. Are we back?
But,
You were
yeah.
frozen for a while.
oh, sorry.
But I
But
just told
she's
Liz.
mixed, but she looks white.
Okay. So she would say she's white, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See, now who decides that though? Is
They
that
do.
just so it's whatever the kids want, right? So if
No, hell
your
no.
kids
My kids,
if your kids wanted
My-
to put their white people, they could.
yes, of course.
But and you would let them make that decision on their own, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who cares?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I mean, I guess
My
some
kid-
people probably would care, but my kids have never said they were white. They always say they're black.
They're
If you
black.
ask them what race they are, they're gonna say I'm black.
they're black.
They're gonna say I'm black.
My kid has red hair, so
And then Marcy would say, no, you're mixed, but even she'll say, yeah, my kids are black.
yeah, they're black.
Their dad, their dad is black as hell.
The whitest thing in your house is the house and your wife.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like your house is all white. Most of the stuff in your house is white. Your walls are white. And your wife is white. Everything else is not. It's not white,
Well,
right? Because you have no mix in your family on your side, right? Anywhere.
well, I mean, on my dad's side, yeah, I mean they're Hispanic, but yeah,
Well, that's. If you
Right.
ask Fat Joe, that's black people. They're all. It's all.
yeah, they're black. Now, but if you ask my stepmom,
Now your stepmom's
I
Spanish.
don't know. Yeah, she's from El Salvador. I don't know how that's gonna go, honestly. Now I know she would say that she's. I don't know. I don't know what she would say actually.
Now you have half siblings.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're black and Spanish.
yeah, but they're gonna say they're black. They all say black.
So they still say they're black. They don't say they're Spanish.
Yeah. No. No. Now they, they they indulge in, Spanish activities or Spanish holidays and stuff like that from where they're from.
That's
But
that's
they're
more
black.
cultural than saying what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like if they're marking, and that's why I use a job application as
They're not gonna.
That's-
Yeah,
that's-
my brother and sisters are not saying now. Yeah, they're not saying, hey,
I'm
I'm
Spa-
Hispanic.
I'm
They're not-
I'm,
they're
I'm
not doing
part El Salvador, part
no.
Brooklyn or whatever it is.
And the only way you can tell is by the hair. You know that they're mixed because of the hair. Other than that, they're from their skin color. Now, but that's the same thing with like certain Colombians and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. You think they're black, but
Yes.
they're like, no,
But
I'm
they're
not
not.
black. I'm Hispanic. But no, nigga, you black.
Well, and going back to your Asian comment, like when we went to Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, if you didn't know you were in Puerto Rico or didn't know you were in the Dominican Republic, they look the same. They talk the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the culture is the same. You're just in a different place. Like you said, Haitians speak Creole. They speak French. That's what Creole is. It's a form of French. But they also do that in Louisiana. They speak the same. They speak their Creole. But are people in Louisiana Haitian or are they just Americans? You know what I mean? Because you'll get white people that speak like that in
yeah,
Louisiana,
for sure. Yeah.
but they're white
They're
people.
white.
You know what I mean? They're not black people as you would mark a Haitian. No, let me rephrase that. You said Haitians are Haitians. They're not black. But by
No,
skin
they are
color,
black.
they are black.
No, I said they. No, they are black. I was saying that they're not. You said Haitians were
They're French.
French. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said no, they're black.
They are. Look it up. Haitians are French. I'm looking it up. I'm going to the tape. I need to
Haitians
know.
are-
I need to know. We're going to get canceled for this
French
whole
people from
conversation.
France are French.
Are Haitians French? Haiti was a French colony.
Yeah, it was. So
But that's where they get the language from. It's French and West African roots is the language they speak. That's what Creole is.
yeah, so they're black.
But their government speaks French.
Okay.
But all French. Their government, their media, and their education is French.
Mm-hmm.
So is Creole like slang?
It is. It is a slang.
Okay. So it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a recognized language, right? So like if you were, I'm not saying it's not a recognized, but like if you were to read a book on speaking new languages, right? You can learn Spanish, French. Creole's not going to be in that book.
No.
You know, like they're not teaching a Creole class at the University of Georgia. Which they should, though, because if you look at Spanish, so my buddy Brad, his wife is Venezuelan. Now, they speak Spanish. But I know Mexicans that speak Spanish. I know Guatemalans that speak Spanish. And then when Steven,
I think
but
Creole
they all
is
speak
a-
different.
is a- yeah, but I think it's like I think that's what Creole is though. But I think it's a bunch of different of those languages all in one.
all crammed
I
into
think that's what
one.
it is.
Because well, according to Google, and of course, as we've stated many times on this show, if it's on Google, it has to be true. So, according to Google, it's French and West African is what Creole is. It's a mix of both.
Yeah, but the language is a bunch of different languages.
Okay, that's like Portuguese people. They speak, or Brazilian people. They speak Portuguese, even though they're not from Portugal. They're from Brazil.
Right.
Okay, same concept, I guess. That makes sense. Surprised I don't know
Like
who's
Creole
watching.
Creole could be like French, English, European, all meshed in like one.
So now because like South Africans speak English, right? But then you get, obviously West African's a language, right? That's a language on its own. Egyptian is a language.
No, I think Egyptian is a person, but I think they speak a certain language. I don't know what Egyptians speak. I know they speak English, and I don't know all the African language. It's like a million different African languages. I don't know.
Well, what's the main one? What's the main African language?
Probably
Swahili.
French.
No, Swahili. It's the most widely spoken indigenous language in Africa. Nope, the government got Carl again. 200 million people across East and Central Africa speak Swahili. The government got Carl again.
Yeah.
I told you we get canceled for this conversation.
No, my camera died. That's all it was.
We're just gonna pretend they didn't cancel me because I'm a white guy.
You're getting canceled.
Is that it? We out?
Well, my camera's dead, and then Marcy just walked in, so.
Carl's camera's dead. His boss
Brother on the
just got
mic,
home.
law in the rhythm. A chorus to smooth bearded evidence of every memory we prove. Yeah, we start with a chatter, skillet clatter on the stove. Cousins debating who wins in the epic game of Rove. Cameras off, we pass the plate, flavors flash like flash bulbs. Ons drop, recipes, like
Hopefully we'll be
secrets, every
back.
line a warm hug. The grill, halos, amber football banners on the wall. We roast the big moments while the kettle starts to sprawl. Kids chasing dreams around the yard, laughing.